Alright, yo, so today, as you can see by the title, today I'm going to be rating every Roblox anime game based on its specific anime. So if I get on Blox Fruits, I'm gonna have to rate GPO and a One Piece game and many others, just to see which is the best version of each anime game. So maybe if you haven't played any of them before, you're gonna see which one you might want to play today. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, yo, but the anime we're going to be picking is One Piece. So obviously with One Piece, we're going to have to pick different One Piece games. And that first One Piece game we're going to be playing is GPO. And I'm assuming most of you have already played GPO, considering it's one of the biggest One Piece games on Roblox. But maybe not, like maybe you have never played it before. But I'm here to rate it for you, so let's get right into it. But now we're starting off with our first rating on GPO. Is this game noob friendly? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, GPO is not noob friendly. When I got in this game, it took me so long to actually get into it. I actually bought the game, quit it for like a year, and then got back on it just because I didn't want to have to put in the time. So yeah, if you're trying to be good at this game, you have to actually put in a lot of hours. This game is not like any other Roblox game where you could just kind of spawn in and buy your way to the top. No, you can't do that in this game. Because I know me personally, when I first got this game, it looked really fun. And then I got on it and I realized that I had to sit there for many hours just grinding to get my levels up. And even when I leveled up to like level 100, level 200, I still was weak. It was just really discouraging, but I knew the end outcome would be good, so I just kept at it. And now look at me now, max level, and I can fight anybody, bro. I can fight anybody. So yes, this game definitely requires you to actually have the mentality that you actually want to play this game, because if you just get on it expecting it to be easy, it's not. So to conclude what I just said, GPO is not noob friendly. So we're already off to kind of a bad start, but you know, GPO really does have some saving graces. On to our next rating, the PvP. Is PvP in GPO good? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, yeah, I actually think GPO has one of the best fighting mechanics in Roblox gaming. You know, there's obviously cheese lords out there who like to cheese and don't do so much damage, but you know, overall, like the fighting combat in this game, you can't lie, is really good. Compared to some games out there where the fighting is, you know, it's alright. This game's actually really good, and it's made really good for PvP. The PvP just looks good, you're able to fight really well, and it's like the main point of this game is to fight other players. So they obviously had to make one of the biggest plot points in this game PvP based. And you know, obviously it's even better with all the different combo extenders, aka the Bow's Head and the Ice Sword. It just makes for a good time of PvP. And that PvP aspect is really gonna shine when the new Battle Royale mode comes out for everybody. So I'm gonna be honest, I rate GPO PvP pretty highly. Even though people can cheese and it can be broken at times, the PvP mechanics are still really good in my opinion. And obviously with a game like this, there's going to be a lot of PvP drawbacks with everybody just putting all their stats into a fruit and being able to do 10 hit combo deaths. Like back before Magu got nerfed a few updates ago, it was absolutely broken. And to be honest, it still is one of the most broken fruits in the game. You know, obviously as you can see by these clips right here, there's people literally one-shotting or two-shotting with guns, bro. And just look at this combo right here. What if a new player got on the game and they don't even know how to play, and this is what's happening to them? It's just kind of not fair, which is why I think they should add skill-based matchmaking to GPO if it is possible. Because me personally, bro, I don't know how many times I've gotten into a lobby with someone who only plays PvP and I've been wiped. But overall, I would have to rate the GPO PvP experience a solid 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8. But I am leaving GPO PvP at a 7.5. Alright, but on the next rating factor, we're going to be rating GPO on the boss fights. Even though this isn't one of the bigger parts of the game, it actually is one of the more enjoyable pieces of GPO. And I'm talking every boss in the game. I'm talking from the smallest boss to one of the most strongest bosses in the game. Me personally, I haven't fought that many bosses in this game because a lot of them are really hard to beat, especially Gravito, especially by myself. Like, if you can solo bosses, bro, in my opinion, you have my respect, bro. If you can solo any boss in this game, you have my respect. And you know, it is really fun if like you and 3 or 4 of their friends are just fighting Enel or something. Like, it's really fun to do. Or when y'all just trying to farm for like boss drops, it's sometimes, yes, it does get a little bit repetitive and it's really challenging, but you know, overall I would think it's worth it in my opinion. And some bosses even have their own skill moves, like the axe boss in Shellstown. He has his own moveset, as well as Buggy. He has his own fruit. The fruit's not even in the game, but Buggy somehow has it. And bro, just look at all these bosses. Like, how would you get bored of fighting bosses? There are just so many of them, but obviously a lot of them are really weak and you can probably kill them really fast, so you know, you do with that as you will. But overall, in terms of bosses, I'm going to have to give the boss rating in GPO a solid 6.5 out of 10. They're kind of just in the middle, a little bit above the middle, but they're all right. They're good. They're good bosses. Alright, yo, now we are on to the next One Piece game, Blox Fruits, aka the biggest One Piece game on Roblox. And we all know about Blox Fruits and we all have mixed opinions about it. Most of us probably saying that we don't like it. I'm gonna be honest with you, a couple weeks ago I hated this game, but now it's actually not that bad. Unlike Grand Peach, it's really easy to ease into and it's really easy to get certain type of fruits. So this is going to be leading us off into our first subject: is Blox Fruits noob friendly? And I'm going to have to give this with a staggering yes. Blox Fruits is probably one of the most noob friendly games on like the anime genre. Literally, you can play this game for maybe an hour, maybe even 30 minutes, get enough money, and then go to the next island, the monkey island, and just buy a fruit. And yes, it does have its downside. This game is a little bit of pay to win. As you can see right here, you can just go to the fruit trader and buy random fruits with actual Robux. But while doing this, it kind of just defeats the purpose, and I also don't think it's actually worth real money to buy a fruit when it's really not that hard to grind money and buy one by chance. But I'll be honest, I'd rather grind than spend money on a $30 fruit. Even though this game is a little somewhat pay to win, it is still very fun nonetheless, and extremely good and extremely beginner friendly. So in terms of being noob friendly, I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10. Alright, but on to the next rating of the video, PvP. Is Blox Fruit PvP good? I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Blox Fruit PvP really isn't all that. And as you can see, I'm not that high level yet, so I'm just saying this off my opinion. I haven't experienced the most PvP you can get, but overall, with all the PvP I've had so far, it is really not that good. Nothing compared to GPO. It's definitely not as competitive, and it doesn't feel as clean. Like when I'm finding someone in GPO, it feels like I'm actually PvPing them, but in this game, it just feels like I'm just shooting at random places and hoping to hit somebody. As you can see right here, this is just the basic moves for my M1s. Nothing crazy about it. I don't have any up attack, nothing. It's literally just this. While it's still pretty decent, it's definitely not meant for PvP in my opinion. And here's a regular clip of someone PvPing in Blox Fruits. As you can see, there's so much going on. It doesn't look like PvP. It just looks like just too much going on the screen, which is why I'm saying it's more based for PvE, not exactly player versus player combat. But obviously, since there are more fruits in Blox Fruits, the PvP is definitely more fun because there's just so much more powers to use on players. It just gives you opportunity to use things that you wouldn't get the opportunity to use in games like Grand Prix, where there's a kind of a lackluster amount of like things to do. But the PvP aspect in this game really isn't all that great. But overall, I would have to rate Blox Fruits PvP a solid 5 out of 10. It looks cool, but like when I do it, I don't get the same feeling. I don't feel as good about PvP as I do in other games. But that's just me though. Comment down below if you have a different opinion, and let me know if I missed anything about the PvP aspect of the game. But on to the next rating. Alright, y'all, the next rating is going to be about animation. Yes, I know, Blox Fruits animation, we already know about it, but I still have to rate it. I'm just gonna cut straight to the point, bro. Blox Fruits animation is really not that good, especially pre-update 17.3, and obviously with the new update, everything looks way better, but in comparison to GPO, it stands no chance in my opinion. The animations are kind of lackluster. They're alright at best. The fruit animations are decently good for certain fruits. Like in my opinion, the dough fruit probably has the best animations in the game. Like, I'm gonna be honest, in my opinion, Blox Fruits did a better job recreating the Mochi no Mi than GPO, but the animations for that are still not as good in my opinion. But most of Blox Fruits animations, like the combat animations and things like that, they aren't that good. So I'm going to have to give Blox Fruits animation a solid 6 out of 10. Just in terms of animation, it's pretty decent, but compared to other games, it's not that great. With Blox Fruits being the biggest One Piece game on Roblox, it can do way better with its animation. So yeah, I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10. Alright, y'all, now we're going to get on to the devil fruit aspect of Blox Fruits. And I'm gonna be honest here, bro, there's nothing I can complain about it. And obviously, bro, there is a lot more positives than negatives with the devil fruits in Blox Fruits. Just alone, the sheer number of devil fruits in Blox Fruits is so much more than Grand Prix. It's just way more. There's so much more to do with these fruits. Like, you could literally never get bored of getting all the devil fruits because most people never even had all of them. And obviously, with every update coming out, they're always adding new fruits to the game, which is a plus. And you know, some games should take note of that. But besides the sheer number of them, let's look at the way they look. And obviously, hence then in Blox Fruits, a lot of the fruits are blocks, obviously. And you know, pre-time skip, a lot of the fruits, I'm gonna be honest, look really bad. They were really ugly. They didn't look good at all. But now, obviously, with the new update, a lot of the fruits look really good. They have a new, like, attention to detail to them. Some of them move, some of them don't. You know, it's good now. And I'm gonna be honest, most of the fruits' attacks look pretty decent. And obviously, with some fruits that are really strong in other games, are kind of weak in this game. Like, obviously, when you look at this attack in GPO, it does a lot of damage. But when you do this attack in Blox Fruits, it's honestly kind of a lackluster, and it looked kind of weak. So obviously, with some of these fruits, they can definitely make them look stronger. Like, obviously, I just hit that guy, as you just saw, and a lot of them didn't even connect. Nor does it even do a lot of damage. So yeah, this fruit is actually good in other games, but in this game it's kind of mid. But obviously some other fruits, they look really cool and they have fruit awakenings. Like the dough fruit has a fruit awakening, the Mara no Mi has a fruit awakening, and many other fruits have awakenings, which is obviously added points, unlike GPU who has just the base fruit alone. And obviously giving the player these awakenings gives them new opportunities to find out like what the new fruit is like. And it gives them like a breath of fresh air with the fruit that they probably had for a while. So yeah, overall I would have to rate the fruit in Blox Fruits a solid 9 out of 10. Despite the looks of them, there's so many variety of fruits in this game, and some of them look really, really cool. Alright, yeah, now we're going to be rating the bosses in Blox Fruits. And I'm gonna be honest, the bosses in this game, some of them do have their own moveset, but still, they're alright. They're just, in my opinion, they're kind of mid. They're not that cool. And for most people, they're just really easy to beat. They're not that much of a challenge for certain people. Like, I would definitely say beating a boss inside of GPO is way harder than beating a boss inside of Blox Fruits, whatever level you are. And yes, while Blox Fruits does have way more bosses in it than GPO, like, you know, having Katakuri in there and other bosses like that, it still just doesn't feel the same as GPO. It's like as in GPO, you're fighting an NPC, but it kind of feels like you're fighting a player instead of in Blox Fruits when you're fighting an NPC and it feels like you're fighting an NPC. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to give Blox Fruits bosses a solid 6 out of 10 because they're not that great. Some of them are cool and they're original, but they're just not that good overall in my opinion. Alright, y'all, but now on to our last Blox Fruit rating, the graphics. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, this is kind of where the game falls down in my opinion. The graphics in this game are honestly not that good and they're kind of a lackluster. Like, obviously what I said with the other things, the update made them look a lot better, but pre-update, the graphics in this game were absolutely atrocious in my opinion. And to be honest, still to this day, they're actually just decent in my opinion. They're not too crazy, they're not crazy good, not even mid, just like alright. They're alright in my opinion. So honestly, I would have to give the graphics kind of Blox Fruits a solid 6 out of 10. They're not that good, but they're also not that bad. But they're not mid, but they're alright. So a solid 6 out of 10 is what I'm gonna stick with for graphics. Alright, yeah, but now to our next topic. Is King's Legacy noob friendly? In my opinion, so far, my personal experiences, I would have to say yes. As y'all can see, I'm literally level 1. I've basically never really played King's Legacy like that. I'm basically just judging everything off, I say, of like public opinion and what the game looks like. But as you can literally see, I haven't even been on this game for 20 minutes and I have 4 fruits. I spawned in and found a fruit on the floor, and then the rest of it, players just gave me random fruits, which is not something you're gonna get in GPO. You already know, if you play GPO, if you ask for a free fruit, you are definitely going to get a suke. And like I said earlier, this games are a lot like Blox Fruits. You kind of just walk around and do the same thing. You buy a katana, you get your fruit, and you just kind of fight bosses until you get to a certain level. So in terms of being easy, yes, it's kind of easy. It's not hard at all. You just kind of just fight NPCs for the rest of the game. So yes, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a hard task to do. So overall, I am going to say that King's Legacy is noob friendly. I'm going to give it in a noob friendly factor, and like a beginner factor, I'm going to have to give it a solid 7 out of 10. Alright, but now we're going to get onto the PvP aspect of King's Legacy. Now, the main question is King's Legacy PvP good, or is it just basic PvP? And if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this King's Legacy PvP is mildly decent. It's essentially the same thing as Blox Fruits. It's just a little bit more. It seems even more uncoordinated in my opinion. Like when you look at some of this footage that you can see right here, there's so much going on. I don't know how you would even begin to hit a player in the air with the fruit attack. Like it just looks so strange to me. It doesn't seem very like skill based. It kind of just seems like the better fruit you have, the like better chance you're gonna do at PvP. And there's never any boots on the ground combat in this game. It's always in the air from what I'm looking at, which obviously doesn't make a lot of sense because like if you're gonna play PvP, there should be 2 sword style fighting on the floor, not people flying through the air fighting with only double fruits. It just doesn't seem very PvP-ish. It just seems a little bit strange as a PvP and like mechanic. And obviously, as you can see right here with this cattle footage, the guy tries to fight the guy on the floor, but obviously he just gets hit into the air and it becomes an entire air battle again. And I'm gonna be honest, if I'm reading this type of PvP style, I really don't like this type of PvP style, as you can probably already guess. I really do like the close quarters, boots on the ground type of combat like that GPO has. It just seems more natural for a PvP style than just fighting in the air with no boots on the ground. It just seems strange to me. So overall, I'm gonna have to rate the King's Legacy PvP a solid 4 out of 10. Yeah, I know the attacks look good, but overall, I just don't like the type of playstyle that it gives off. So overall, I'm going to have to give King's Legacy PvP a 4 out of 10. Alright, y'all, now we're going to get onto the fruit aspect of King's Legacy. Obviously, as y'all probably know, King's Legacy does have a bigger range of fruits than GPO, but not by a lot. Obviously, Blox Fruits is the reigning leader of having the most fruits than any One Piece game. But when you look at some of these fruits, there's actually really cool fruits that GPO does not have. Prime example being the Buddha fruit, Kaido's fruit, and Big Mom's fruit. So yeah, that definitely gives points for adding some originality to like the fruit genres. But now let's look at the models for the fruits. As you can see right here, the models for the fruits are a little bit strange. Some of them are actually really cool. As you can see with the Phoenix fruit design is really cool. The Spirit fruit is really cool. But some of them are just really wacky to me. Like the Snow fruit, I don't like too much. It just looks really basic. The Light fruit looks just a little bit strange. It's literally just a yellow star with a little like leaf on top. Like what is that? They could definitely put more effort into there. And look at the Mary no Mi fruit, bro. It looks like it was made on Microsoft Paint. Like they can definitely do better design with these fruits. If they can give this much effort into other fruits like these, they can definitely put effort into the main fruits. Because when I'm looking at these fruits, it definitely looks like they put more effort into some fruits than others. Now, do I know why? No. But can I take a guess? It's probably because they just don't feel like it. Like, look at the string fruit. It literally just looks like squiggly lines. Like, come on, they can definitely do better than that. But off of the modeling, let's look at the attacks. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the attacks look pretty good. They're not all that crazy, as I said earlier, late in the graphics genre, but you know, they look decent. Some attacks are definitely cooler than others, but you know, depending on the fruit you have and depending how cool it is and how much like damage it does and like what it does, it'll definitely look better than certain fruits. So overall, I'm going to have to give King Legacy Double Fruits a solid 7.5 out of 10. I would give it an 8, but some of the models are really lackluster. Some of the attacks, the way they look, they're not very aesthetically pleasing. Just like how Blox Fruits graphically updated the entire game, now it looks so much better, they could definitely do the same thing at King's Legacy. So yeah, I'm going to give fruits in this game a solid 7.5 out of 10. Alright, yo, but now we're going to be rating the King's Legacy boss factor. Are King's Legacy bosses good? And I'll be honest with y'all, no. I really don't think King's Legacy bosses are that good to fight, or they're just kind of boring in general. Obviously, as you can see right here, when you can literally walk up to a boss and they won't hit you until you hit them. Meaning if you're OP to a certain boss, you can literally one-shot them easily, and there will be zero repercussions for that. Meaning that these bosses really can't be that challenging for players who are max level with really good fruits and just max out stats. It just can't not be that hard for them. But yeah, overall, I would have to rate the King's Legacy bosses a solid 5 out of 10. Now on to our next stat, graphics. Are King's Legacy graphics good? King's Legacy graphics are alright at best, to be honest. They're more or less like Blox graphics, but before the newest update. It's like all the islands are really low lackluster. Like, look at the maps, bro. Like, this map is utterly atrocious. Like, look at this, bro. This looks like there was no effort put into this. Especially with a game with all these players on it, should definitely have a better looking map. It literally looks like this game, the map was made in like a day. But besides that, the actual graphics for the Devil Fruit attacks and attack in general actually aren't that bad. Like, they don't look as good as Blox Fruit's attacks, but they look just a little worse. As you can see right here, the Devil Fruit attacks and just regular attacks, they don't look too bad actually. They look just decent. They don't look better than Blox Fruits, but they don't look way worse. Compared to the graphics of the game, they actually are pretty good. So that's definitely a saving grace. I don't know why they make this game so low quality. Maybe it's because they want more players to get on the game and actually have a good time and not lag. But who really knows? I'm not a dev at King's Legacy. But overall, I'm going to have to rate King's Legacy graphics a solid 6 out of 10. Alright, yo, this is the moment we've been waiting for. We've tallied up all the scores for the best One Piece Roblox game, and now we have our answer. Drumroll, please. The best Roblox One Piece game is Grand Peace Online.
This mother don't miss.
No, he's f***ing good.
Now hear me out. Before you rage in the comments and get angry at me for my opinion, just hear me out. I think GPO is the most fun game to play out of all of them because it has the most modes. It has the dungeons mode, arena mode, trading hub. The base game is fun. You have to grind to the second C, and then they have so many more bosses in there with their own skill moves and all these things in it, like I said earlier. And especially in the new update coming out soon for the new dungeons maps and the battle royale mode. Like, bro, the battle royale mode in GPO is going to have a battle pass. That is crazy. So yeah, I just had to give it a GPO, to be honest. But then right after that, in second place by a close second, Blox Fruits. And in last place, we have King's Legacy. But yeah, that's my verdict on the best One Piece games. Alright, yo, but that's going to conclude my video on comparing, contrasting, and picking the best Roblox One Piece game. I hope you liked the video. If you did like the video, don't forget to drop a like down below. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, bro, hit that subscribe button, bro. What are you doing? And also, if you haven't joined the Discord, link in the description, you should join it right now. You know, it's there if you want to join it. It's there. Without further ado, I'm going to see y'all later.